Hello, everybody. So, I've spent years studying this stuff, and I kind of gave up on it for a while because I wanted to focus on scripture. Because if you had one thing to choose to focus on, that's the most important thing, and that's what I'm want to focus on and what I'm getting back to. But going through all this, it's a truth that if something's true, the more you look into it, the truer it becomes, and the further you dig, the more obvious that truth becomes. And going through all this research again that I've been doing these last few days just brought back everything I've done in the past. And it makes some things obvious that Satan is behind the governments of the world and this beast system. And the plan for this system is to create chaos and fear in people. And then the very system that creates this chaos and fear is going to come in with the solution to this chaos and fear. And when people see that these people are coming in with the solution, then they're going to bow down to this new system and follow these new rulers because they need. And what these new rulers and this new system is going to say is that you need to follow their rules in order to be part of this new system. So, this is all the problem, reaction, solution method that is being used to form this beast system. And it's nothing new. It's been going on for years and years and years. The governments or those that control the world create the problem, and then they come in with the solution in order to get the desired response from the masses. And the masses are going to follow it hook, line, and sinker. NASA gets $65 million a day from taxpayers. $65 million a day. I don't think there's any organization that gets as much money as NASA gets. And for what? To sustain the great lie that NASA is. Werner von Braun and Walt Disney, great friends. Did you know that Werner von Braun was employed by Disney, by Walt Disney? He was the technical director for Walt Disney. And I don't see any difference between NASA and Disney. They're one and the same. As fake and as fantastical as Disney is, that's how fake and fantastical NASA is. Except people believe NASA as truth. And when you dispute the facts of NASA and what they say, people want to regurgitate certain facts and figures. Where do those facts and figures come from? Where do they get them from? They get them from NASA, the very organization that lies about everything. That's where people go to get the information to try to argue certain points because NASA's in control of it all. They can't prove it, but people just bow down to NASA because they think they're so smart and they got everything figured out. Why? Because they've been brainwashed their entire lives. NASA was created to hide demons. The very people that founded the organization used magic and the Babylon working in order to summon and call demons. And if you don't believe in demons and that kind of stuff, I'm sorry. It's a fact. It's in the FBI files. These people that run the world believe in demons. They believe in them. Not only that, they commune with them and they have rituals to contact them. And these are all well documented. But the very organization, NASA, that we listen to give us our information about where we live was the very organization that was started by the people that summoned these demons. And now they're going to use aliens and create an environment where aliens can be believed that they're going to come down and do something on this earth in order to hide the demons and give the demons a footstool to our world because of the deception of NASA. Dr. Carol Rosin, a lady who was close to Werner von Braun and gave a series of speeches for von Braun. Von Braun is the first scientist hired by NASA. He is called the father of NASA. Came over from Nazi Germany in Operation Paperclip and really spearheaded a lot of what NASA is. Dr. Carol Rosin talked about how when she gave speeches for Werner von Braun, that he would always talk to her about 5 things that were going to come upon the world. And you can still see the YouTube videos if you look up Dr. Carol Rosin, white-haired lady. I don't agree with a lot of the things she said, but she did have a relationship with Werner von Braun. And this is what she said, that there are going to be 5 threats for which we need to build space-based weapons. The first threat is the Russians. Second threat is terrorism. Third threat is rogue nations. The fourth threat is going to be asteroids. And the fifth threat is going to be an alien invasion for which we need to build space-based weapons for. And Carol Rosin, Dr. Carol Rosin, said that Werner von Braun always told her that the last card was this alien threat, and it was going to be played in the end times. And Dr. Carol Rosin said that von Braun said that it's all fake, all of it. The threat from the Russians, terrorism, rogue nations, all created by the government and the people that control the world to keep people in fear. Asteroids, fake, used to keep people in fear. And the last card, she kept repeating, the last card von Braun said would be played was the alien threat. And none of this could happen. None of these threats could happen if people didn't believe what NASA spit them about a spinning ball Earth flying through infinite space where there's all kinds of things everywhere, and at any time we can be hit by an asteroid or an alien can come and take control of us. Because then we have no control. We live in fear, and that's what they want. But you can look it up. Dr. Carol Rosin, von Braun. Serge Monast, a guy who researched something called Project Bluebeam, who was killed under... If you ever want to find the truth, look for the people who are killed in mysterious ways, because those are the people that are telling the truth. When they hit a chord that the powers that be don't want out there, they get rid of these people. Serge Monast, who died under mysterious circumstances, you can look it up, but talked about Project Bluebeam, how at one point in time the governments of the world will use Project Bluebeam, which is basically a projection that they're going to use in the sky to fake an alien invasion, to fake the second coming of Jesus, to fake different saviors like Muhammad or Buddha, all around the world, depending on what your geographic area believes in, that they're going to project it up in the sky to make people believe that this is actually happening. And the communications, the sound waves, and all this technology that they have, I'm not going to get into all of it here because it takes way too long to explain. You can look it up. Project Bluebeam, Serge Monast, how they can control your thoughts and make you think that the deity in the sky is actually talking to you and things like that. This is all planned out. And Serge Monast was researching it, and then he was killed. But that's part of the deception. And again, this deception would not be possible if people didn't believe in a spinning ball Earth, and if they didn't believe that we lived in an expanding universe where aliens can come in at any time. William Cooper. William Cooper was a Navy intelligence officer for 30 for years. Predicted 2 months in advance that Osama bin Laden would attack us in 9/11, and he had a radio program called The Hour of the Time, and he talked about a lot of this stuff. And he worked in Area 51, saw a lot of information on aliens early in his career, and then later in his career, he actually talked about how all of the stuff he got and everything that was given to him was fake. That they're putting together all these details. And he believed in his early days when he saw all this that aliens were real, they were coming from other galaxies and things like this. But later, as he went through all this information and saw what was happening, he saw how everything was being planned and set up for an end time deception that had to do with aliens coming to this earth. William Cooper, murdered by the FBI outside of his home. You can look him up too. Bill Cooper, William Cooper, Navy intelligence. I think it's funny that every time also that I look to find answers, and like I said before, I'm not necessarily a flat earther. I just don't believe in a spinning ball earth theory because really it's been proven to be false. It can't be true based on real science, not fake science. And I understand, oh yeah, you think that all the science proves a spinning, but no, it's all fake science. It's all made up. And then these teachers and these people from NASA or whatever, they learn the lie and then they regurgitate it to people. So they're very knowledgeable about a fake science that they can memorize and regurgitate to people, but it's not actually true. And the people that work at NASA and these space agencies, who are very few and far between, I doubt anyone can name anybody who works for NASA. Or if you can, let me know. Well, I doubt I could talk to them, but it's all compartmentalized. And even people from NASA say when they look at satellite launches or they look at missions to other planets, they say they can't tell the difference between what's real and what's a simulation. And then the people who work on satellite and do things like that, they're compartmentalized, so they don't know what's going on in the full picture. It's all, everyone's in different section, and only the people on the very top understand the whole scope of what's going on. So the argument, that everyone would have to be in on it, no. A few people are in on it, and everybody else is just ignorant to what's going on. We believe in a globe theory because we've been programmed it throughout our entire lives. The first thing we learn when we go to school, or the first picture we see in cartoons, is the globe. Then we have Star Trek and Star Wars and all this stuff, which makes us think that it's a fact, that it's been proven. But it hasn't. When I go and I look up, like this guy David Weiss, who I don't agree with his spirituality and what he believes in, but the science that he talks about the flat earth makes complete sense. David Weiss, Weiss. I'd encourage you to check him out. Don't believe what he talks about with regard to free will or God because he doesn't know what he's talking about. But he believes now that there is intelligent design based on the science that he's explored. But again, he's not a believer in Jesus Christ. But his science is sound. And every time I go to look up something on flat earth, there's a disclaimer on every video that says from Wikipedia that the flat earth is an archaic model that no one believes anymore. And then it says that even though the globe has been proven, some people still believe. I don't need Wikipedia's disclaimer when I'm trying to search truth. I mean, that's just a red flag to me right off the bat. And now you got this. I mean, you hear, every movie in the last 50 years, every other movie's on aliens. And now you got the Pentagon coming out and going to give disclosure. Have you guys heard about this on June 1st? Where they're going to talk about and reveal apparently everything they know on UFOs. Well, this whole thing just reeks of deception. Just reeks of deception. And this deception, and look at the generals and the Harvard professors. Everyone's talking about aliens now. I mean, they're getting ready to disclose something to humanity, and it has deception written all over it. And this deception that is coming would not be possible if people didn't believe everything NASA said about the fact that we're spinning through space at ridiculous speeds, that the universe is expanding, that there's life on other planets, and that those aliens are going to come here and do something with us. Whether good or bad, I think they'll play both sides. There'll be good aliens and bad aliens, and then they're going to manipulate us in some way. But Project Bluebeam, these movies, the indoctrination, it all has a purpose, and it all is coming together here, and it's going to come soon. And in my next two videos, I'm going to finish off how I think this end time deception is going to go.